NFL fans probably don't like to think about kickers that much, but we had no choice yesterday. Kickers missed 12 field goals, 12 extra points. That was, pretty exciting if you like watching ineptitude. The most extra points missed since 2016. And the ultimate kicking nightmare took place in Cincinnati. Now, I thought the Bengals were going to beat the Packers. So I'm watching this game, and I'm thinking, how does this end? How does this end in heartbreak for the Cincinnati Bengals? Well, the Packers gave them every opportunity. The two kickers combined to miss 5 potential game-winning field goals. Eventually, Mason Crosby hit one, but it was ugly. Ever since the league moved the extra point back in 2015, it's added a sense of adventure here, and it makes the play much more exciting. Used to be a team scored a touchdown, and then you would go get a beer because you thought, well, it's a formality. Not anymore. Some cool end-of-the-game scenarios, but you don't want football to come down to kickers. But it did. Sunday was a rough day. But we've also seen kickers do some pretty amazing things. Justin Tucker with that 66-yarder that helped the Ravens beat the Lions in Week 3. We've seen some teams lose because of their kickers. Like it or not, it's a big part of the game that's not going to change anytime soon. So many games to recap. The Bills are for real, roughing up the Chiefs. The Buccaneers, the Cowboys roll. Chargers, Browns was spectacular. The Cardinals quietly 5-0, but injury concerns starting with their quarterback. Buffalo Bills, it took a while, but that was due to a weather delay. But Buffalo roughing up the Kansas City Chiefs. And we like to pick sides on Monday after the game. It's did Kansas City lose this game? Did Buffalo win this game? Mistakes by the Chiefs. Now we want to look at, is Josh Allen on par with Patrick Mahomes? Is he better than Patrick Mahomes? Do you realize on the Fox pregame show, Jimmy Johnson said he would take Justin Herbert over Patrick Mahomes? I understand, and Justin Herbert's going to join us on the program tomorrow, but, we get caught up in what did you do this week, this month, and I need to see a little bit more before I would crown a new king in the AFC West or the AFC overall, because Josh Allen is doing what you want your quarterback to do. I worried about the pressure that he had on him because I thought, and I know I've said this before, he was as valuable to his team as anybody was last year, and that includes Aaron Rodgers. And Rodgers had a spectacular year and was the MVP. But you're asking a young player, hey, you need to make plays. And you saw that last night. The moment wasn't too big for him. And if you start to look at their previous games, and we can look at schedule and say, all right, the Dolphins, are they that good? Washington, Texans, and the Chiefs. But here are the last 4. They shut out the Dolphins 35-0. They beat Washington 43-21. They shut out the Texans 40-0. And then you beat the Chiefs 38-20. So the aggregate score 156-41. The average score 39-10. You win games. You have close games sometimes. You saw the Patriots against the Texans, and they had to pull that game out. Buffalo's not even getting into that situation, which I love. We don't play close games, at least not right now. Kansas City's always playing close games. They would have loved to have had a closer game, but you're watching Buffalo play a solid football game. Dallas, I watched a lot of that game. I know it's the Giants, but you're just looking for consistency because you think sometimes, well, when's Dallas going to lose the game that you don't expect them to lose? And they got the win yesterday. They ran the football. The Giants, they're going to be hit or miss the entire season. The Chargers against the Browns was wonderful because that's one of those games where you're thinking there's a lot of defensive stars. And there was very little defense in there. That shootout was awesome. If you would have said, hey, this is a Big 12 game, I would have said, absolutely. That's what it felt like. It was back and forth, but the Chargers picking up the win. And you can make a case, the Chargers, second best team in the AFC behind the Buffalo Bills. If you're a fan of the Chargers, and I've been a fan for 15 years, it feels like, they lose those kind of games. That's what's really important. You're winning those games. The Buccaneers and Tom Brady, I'm not surprised anymore. You just watch, and I just enjoy it. I don't go, wow. If you said, hey, Tom's going to give a master class, and then you go on the internet and you get to dial up master class, Well, he does that on Sunday. And, 5 touchdowns. We get caught up in sometimes, oh, yeah, but who's he playing against? Okay. He's still playing against NFL players. It's just he looked great. He looked comfortable. He had his longest run, I think, in a long time. It got scampered. I don't think scampered has ever been used with Tom Brady. But had a long run yesterday, and, he gets everybody else involved. Antonio Brown, I was wrong on him. I was thinking, are you going to bring him back again? And he's been great. You start to look after 5 weeks, and I think you get a pretty good handle on a team. You got to wait that first month or maybe a little bit longer. But 5-6 games, that's when you get a pretty good sample size here. And I think we've gotten that on a few teams. Whether they're going to be good, great, a little bit better than average, or they're just going to be bad. Yeah, Paulie.
One thing Tom doesn't do on a run is look for contact. Like Daniel Jones put his head down and knocked himself out. Tom Brady, he got like 7 yards on his run and said, that's good. That's good for this year.
Yeah, that's the difference between somebody who's 24 and 44. You got to be smart in a situation like that. Yeah, McLevin.
I can't believe he's so good at climbing up cliffs because I thought he fell off the cliff in the rain last week against New England as well. Wow. Wasn't there some people who were saying, oh, man, they lost bad to the Rams and then...
It feels like it's every year at some point, we start to question, is this the year? And then all of a sudden, Tom's holding up a trophy. Any other referendums that anybody has that making statements, McLevin?
Well, I was wondering, was Baker Mayfield good yesterday? I know he had a good line, but I feel like he has the best running backs in the world, so I think a lot of people could play well there. I don't know what to make of him. He started out red hot, and then they somehow lost the game.
Yeah, it was just back and forth, and you had all of those points scored in the fourth quarter. But, we look at Justin Herbert. So Herbert overshadows Baker Mayfield. It's that running game. Where was the defense? That was kind of surprising there as well. Yeah, McLevin.
Remember I asked you about, I'm like, Joey Bosa's unstoppable and Myles Garrett's unstoppable.
Yeah.
They showed yesterday, they pushed him in the middle and ran around to the side to avoid them. So you can't dominate from that position.
No, that's why Aaron Donald is so valuable. And I do think you'll see more and more teams looking for that interior defensive lineman who makes the quarterback move right or left. By the way, there are a lot of quarterbacks who run, and they run too much, but that comes with youth. You think that you're impenetrable, that you can outrun somebody. And I see this with Josh Allen, Justin Herbert yesterday, Baker Mayfield, like they run. As you get older, they won't run as much. Now, there's a reason for that. They'll slow down, but the game slows down a little bit more where they go through their progressions when they're doing their reads. But you see that with younger quarterbacks. They think that they're still in college and they can get past you. But Daniel Jones yesterday knocked himself out, basically. Helmet-to-helmet contact.